I'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with roll call. District 3.
Here.
That'd be Paul Foster, Brian Mon. Okay, notice of the meeting was properly posted December 19th. And Paul, who do you have lined up to do prayer and pledge?
Actually, I don't know who Miles had. Is Mr. Barnes around? He is not.
Need me to do it?
Sure.
Okay. Heavenly Father, thank you for the season and this opportunity to get together and conduct the people's business. We'll ask that you lay a special hand of safety around all of our employees and our citizens throughout this holiday. In your name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there any change to the blanket? Does anybody? Yes, there is. Okay. Is there a motion to receive?
Motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now is there a motion to approve the blanket?
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then we have some public comment, and some say ARPA, some say other things. So just in there of being safe, can we have Mark Falk?
Thank you. First of all, had we taken care of this in the manner that we should have taken care of it, we wouldn't all be here on December 27th and talking about this 2 days after Christmas. A couple of points I want to make. One is that I believe this should have happened not weeks ago, not months ago, but years ago. No one has ever questioned that we need more mental health help in Oklahoma County or in Oklahoma. What we have questioned is, should we criminalize those people first and put them in a jail, and then as a feeder put them into a forced mental health facility? And the answer to that is obviously no. You do not have the money to build a bigger jail. You simply don't. Miles Davidson said the other day that it will save the county taxpayers money if we build a new jail. What he didn't say is that you're $500 million short at least. $500 million. And that you're looking at private equity firms. One of them, by the way, has over $10 billion in fines levied against them since the year 2000 for fraud. All three of the companies who have submitted private equity estimates have hundreds of millions of dollars of fines against them for defrauding their clients. Do your homework. I spent 15 to 20 years, I'm going on 20 years, researching and doing films and books about Wall Street. I can tell you, especially one of these companies is corrupt. They are corrupt. Now, they might get along well with Oklahoma County because at this point, I feel like Oklahoma County reeks of corruption. So when you borrow that $500 million, when is that due? Are we going to pay that back without raising taxes, as Miles Davidson seemed to say, without raising taxes on the taxpayers of Oklahoma County? I can tell you the answer to that. The answer to that is no. We are on the hook for over double the amount that you said would build a new jail. So we take that $260 million, part of which has already been spent. Now we need another at least $500 million on top of that. The taxpayers will be on the hook for that. Bringing in private equity firms does not pay the bills. They will charge interest. We will have a loan that hopefully won't be as bad as a payday loan, but we're looking pretty desperate right now. So the reality is this: the money that you're distributing should go to each district and the municipalities for them to use it as they see fit. Not because you waited until 4 days before the deadline and now you have to give it to your hand-picked nonprofits, and I'm not denigrating any of them. I am just saying that many of these municipalities could have found excellent uses for this. You've waited too long. You have been not just incompetent, you have been criminal in some ways. So as we're moving forward, this is what I want the citizens of Oklahoma County to remember. When you borrow another $500 million to build a jail, we're on the hook. Instead, we're going to repeat this like a mantra. On the front end, deal with mental health, with the mental health facilities that are not attached to a jail. Deal with drug and alcohol addiction as a illness, which is what they are, instead of as something to be punished by throwing them into a jail revolving door system. And finally, deal with homelessness and poverty on the front end, reduce the jail population to under 1,000, which it will, and it has done in other municipalities and counties across the nation, and then come back to us and talk to us about building a smaller jail that we can afford without bankrupting our entire county. Thank you.
Sean Cummings.
Well, end of year time, so I'm here twice, and I guess I'll be here on the 31st as well. I want to open up with something that I've meant to speak about every time I've been here, but yet have not. But since you're the only elected official here, nice of you to show up. I appreciate that. I don't see any operational money to run a new jail. I didn't even see any operational money to run the 40 million that is now blowing up in your face. So let's say you get the private equity money. You still have to run the jail when this one's already in the red. So if I was a private equity firm, I'd be looking at this going, this one's already not profitable. Can't make money. They're here to make money. They're not here to be nice to the citizens of Oklahoma. So where is that paperwork? Where do I find that? Somebody surely has done it. And this isn't Airplane the movie. I can call you Shirley. Where would I find such paperwork of operational expenses for the jail? And where is that money coming from? Or are we going to get the city pregnant with that and make them do a 1 cent sales tax, which you can't do? That has to be a vote. So where's this coming from? I need my toilet paper. Literally need my toilet paper. So you don't have the money. You lied about the original amount. Did all those fake ads for the original amount. Nice people gave you the money. You don't have it, and you definitely don't have operational expenses. So how does this work out for the citizens? So we're going to be on the hook because you're literally going loan sharks at this point. What are the average citizens supposed to do? You're gerrymandered. He's gerrymandered. Can't get rid of them. They don't even matter over there because they just want to vote. But the two of yours are gerrymandered. So is this a caste system that we can't get rid of you as government officials? And you're not just incompetent, you're criminally negligent. That's different. Now, unfortunately, we evidently don't get to hold you responsible because the person who would look into it is your lawyer. Do you see how this feels to be on this side? Do you have any idea? Because you ran again because you told me in a meeting because you wanted to get the jail done. Nothing's getting done. You know that. I know that. So what are you going to do? You're going to actually step down? Because you should, right? If you can't get the jail done, you should step down. But I do appreciate you being the only elected official here. So thank you for that.
James McHenry.
Good afternoon. I'm here to talk about the community grant that was put out several months ago. And previous commissioner, my commissioner, we fill out the information, was sent in, and was on vacation, came back and changed the criteria of it. And I'm just trying to get an understanding about the grant. Everything was properly turned in on time, filled out, and there was no issues with it. But my previous representative said that she decided to go another route. I'm on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. Our center is the Hope Center. We service low-income families for kids, and we provide food assistance for the neighborhood off of 28th and Kelly. And that grant would have helped us tremendously to continue to provide. We depend on other resources, and as where the times are now, has dried up, and that would have been a big help to us as far as keeping kids safe over in our community at the center. We do a before and after school program over there, and during the summer, where kids don't have anywhere else to go but to get in trouble, and we try to put them in our center so we can make sure they are kept well, so the families can be able to go to work and wouldn't have to worry about their kids while they're there. But in order to do that, we needed funds as far as to provide things for them, and as far as like during the holiday season now, that we have always provided them not big gift, but a little something to show the families that they are not able to get anything. And we really would have did a big thing with this grant. And I know that the deadline now is done, and I know you probably have already selected on this round. But if you can find in your conscience and your heart to look at that, and I'll be available to give you name and phone number, and we can maybe see what we can get done to help provide for us on the northeast side of town for that community over there. Again, thank you for this opportunity.
John Pettis. Okay.
John's here. Sorry, Mr. Pettis is here if there are questions regarding the Millwood
Okay.
agreement later in the agenda.
Representative Lowe, same thing. Okay. Councilwoman Banna.
Morning and happy holidays to everyone. This came to my attention today. Unfortunately, every time I come to this county government and I'm looking for my county commissioner's office or one of the others, I struggle finding the office. Today, when I entered, I asked the deputy sheriff because there's been a lot of movement in recent months, where District 1's county commissioner's office was. The deputy didn't know, sent me to the court clerk's office. That gentleman advised me of a direction. I went that way, wasn't there, asked another employee who gave me a different direction. So can one of you all make the commitment to putting up signs? Our elected officials should be accessible. The people who walk into this building looking for you should know exactly how to locate you within this complex building. I've noticed that every other elected official in this building has direction to their office, court clerk's office, this way, to the left, to the right. That's something easy that we can do and implement in this building. That would be very effective as far as making you all more accessible to the people who vote for you and whom you're supposed to represent. What we should have done with this money, I, along with other members of this community, reminded you all in May of this year that the deadline for the ARPA funds were approaching. At that point, we asked, pleaded, begged that you guys reopen the application process because you had told many municipalities that you weren't going to give them money because this money was preserved and being hijacked and being held hostage in order to offset the cost of building the jail and used towards the behavioral health portion of the building. But by reopening up the application process, given the circumstances that had unfolded with the location of the jail, we could have had expanded the opportunity of more entities who have qualifying ARPA projects to access these funds in an effort to maximize the benefits to taxpayers. While I recognize and appreciate the nonprofits who've already received one round of funding from the ARPA monies, which belong to the county taxpayers, and Mr. Foster, if you would remind Mr. Commissioner Miles Davidson that when he stood before the media the other day and said that the county taxpayers are now going to have to pay for that behavioral health unit, we the taxpayers were paying for it through the ARPA funds anyway. The ARPA monies are taxpayer monies. They're coming from the federal government, but nonetheless, they're taxpayer money. We, the taxpayers, foot everything that you all do, including the overhead of this very building. So you all should have reopened the application process. So municipalities, and particularly towns, many of which did not receive any federal monies through ARPA, could have benefited. We have core infrastructure needs. The mayor of Del City was here earlier this week reminding you guys of the projects he had submitted applications on behalf of, which he didn't receive money. The former village mayor, Cummings, is back there. They had submitted an application for $8 million for water abatement projects that they didn't receive. The city of Midwest City has sewers that are about to collapse. And we had to increase the water rates by $10 this year so we could afford to renew a portion of the city's failing infrastructure. But this money could have uplifted municipalities and towns throughout this county and offset the cost to taxpayers in a way that maximized its benefits and not impacted and fed small portions of our community. In May, you refused to do that. There has been numerous other calls for you guys to reopen the application process. And as a result of your irresponsible mismanagement of these monies, here we are on the 12th hour. And what you're going to have to do is to redirect that money to the 90 entities that have already received money. That is neither equal or equitable, nor does it prioritize core infrastructure needs that we could have made progress on in a fashion that would maximize the benefits to all taxpayers. Now, here's what I do think you should do. Here's what you can do to save lives in this county. This county currently is under an investigation by the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Office for its broken mental health system, for its numerous and its pattern and practice of ADA violations, right? We lack adequate, accessible, community-based mental health care, drug and alcohol treatment facilities. We lack adequate group homes. The current waiting list for an individual with a disability to access a group home is 15 to 20 years. That is basically unacceptable. What you can do today is revise the memorandum that you have for 1901 East Grand, and instead of building a lockdown mental health facility associated to your jail, turn it to a standalone behavioral health care facility that is open to the community and in no way or shape associated to a jail. Put some drug and alcohol treatment beds in there. That's what you can do to save lives, and you don't have to change a whole lot to achieve that and to serve the communities. Such a mental health facility would serve the Mid-Del community and mass majority of the eastern parts of the county. And maybe you could get the heat of the DOJ off your back. The only other option, as we all recognize that you have, is to redirect it to the 90 organizations, which I would prefer you doing versus holding that money hostage for longer than you should. Because the problem with that is we all recognize that money also has to be spent by December of 2026. So please stop the delay, stop these political gamesmanship, and release the money that belongs to the taxpayers of this county. Thank you.
Councilman Scott Tatum.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. You know, it occurred to me concerning 1901 East Grand, in your last mediation with Oklahoma City, you demanded that only 1901 East Grand be considered. If you had just considered another place and mediated with Oklahoma City, you could have had your jail there and your mental health department. We wouldn't be going through this right now. However, you're now on the cusp of losing the mental health facility. Even though you're not going to lose the money, you are going to have to reallocate it. And I'm from Del City, and I've got to tell you right now, I'm going to be very greedy about that money. Del City needs that money more than Deer Creek or Edmond or Nichols Hills or Gaillardia. And I have a list of things here that I want. First of all, number one, I want water treatment plant total media replacement of $225,000 per filter. up to 4 filters. Number 2, water treatment plant clarifier, repair, replacement, $1 million per clarifier, up to 2 clarifiers. Number 3, sanitation residential vehicle replacement, $275,000 per truck, up to 4 trucks. I also want sidewalks down the east and west sides of South Sunny Lane Road, which needs engineering, design, and installation, $2 million for that. Citywide street lamp and traffic light replacement, $250,000. School zone safety project for Dale City High School, $100,000. Police, fire, training area development, $250,000. Wastewater treatment plant enhancements, $500,000 for safety upgrades, engineering, and installation of catwalk, digester repairs, and actuator motor replacement. For our community center and Eagle Harbor renovations, $2 million. This would allow renovation of the community center, the old library, and the pool. Additionally, it would allow us to host senior activities, family-friendly events, training classes, and healthy initiatives. If I may I approach the dais and give you each a copy? Sure.
Thank you.
My time's almost up, and I really don't want to take up much more of your time, but really a lot of this could have been solved months, if not even years ago. But we're at a crossing point right now, and something has to be done. I'm willing to work with anybody in this room. I'm willing to negotiate and mediate with any of you. I know that this is not specifically in Dale City, but this is going to impact Dale City beyond measure. Okay, just keep that in mind. So I appreciate your time, and let's get something done. Okay, guys, thank you.
Christopher Johnson.
Good afternoon, everybody. Councilwoman Sarabana referencing the 2 federal investigations into you guys. One, not just with the mental health, but also the special litigation section for the jail investigation. So I'm asking that you guys don't play any more games with this money. It's a little late. Would love to see everything kind of get rearranged where we can include more people, but it would be better to have the usual suspects get it than to have to return the money. You guys, just like this jail, creation of the jail trust where you put in a private body to run a public entity has failed. You've screwed up. Since we've got folks here in the public, I'm going to run the numbers by you real quick. So within 2000 to 2019, under the sheriff's office, we lost 73 people. That was about 3 times more than national average when you break it down to per capita of how many people. Way too many people. Way too many people. But that was 19 years. We've lost 51 people in 4 years. By 2027, we will have eclipsed 77 deaths. That's what the math is showing. We average around 8 to 12 humans dying per year. It fluctuates. But we're scheduled to probably lose probably 8 this year, maybe a little less. But all of that to say that the whole shenanigans and the utter bullshit where we have been told that the sheriff's office was the worst thing in the world, that the jail trust is the panacea to our problems, or that the jail is going to fix every single situation, it's just not true. It's not based on any objectable fact or anything like that. Because in fact, we are going to murder more people than the sheriffs did in 19 years. And by no means was it great. And by no means do I hang out and play pool with the guy either. So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit as I close on this last page of this document that I made sure the federal agents got, the AG's office, media, you name it, is lastly by looking at the numbers of who died and by comparing previous numbers, I am predicting that we will lose more people in the remainder of 2024, which we did by the time I wrote this, totaling possibly 10 people in 2024. That more than likely won't be true, but That's what it was looking like at the time. Though the official count was 7 lost in 2023, many experts studying this issue opine that it is a lower number than what it should be simply by accounting for averages, which means that they may have fudged the numbers. 2022, to my knowledge, we lost 16 people in the jail, and then we went to losing 7 people in 2023. There is no data to confirm any more deaths that have happened yet. However, the educated opinions of experienced detectives, current and former federal agents, and lawyers inform me that the math provided by the entities in Oklahoma County is not consistent with what typically happens. There's usually a smaller downgrade than a sharp down. In summary, it is hard to believe that you go from losing 16 people then bringing it down to 7 people in a matter of a year. And that is not even taken into account the other variables surrounding the issues, such as the number of staff decreasing to the tune of some days there are only 2 people working all the floors doing site checks. At various previous shifts per reports of attorneys seeing clients at the jail, as well as confidential informants that I have. The numbers that can be disputed in any way are the fact that since 2020, we have lost 51 people. That is beyond rebuke. The current date that I wrote this was a few days ago. And on the simple measure of the high number of deaths and 9 failed inspections in a row, which, by the way, we never failed that many under the sheriff. We would fail one, then pass one. 9 in a row, we're probably going to have 10. There should not be any more delay in the United States Department of Justice taking complete control of the Oklahoma County Detention Center, criminal investigations into the county jail trust, all those are elected officials or appointed officials, or the Attorney General's office doing everything legally they can do to solve the problem. I hope that everybody collaborates on this. I wanted the public to hear that is the raw data, that's the math. Your beliefs cannot dispute 1 + 1. Reality is, we need to hold these jokers accountable, these thugs, and everybody accountable. There needs to be a criminal investigation, and the jail needs to be taken over by the federal government.
Others to speak? Item number 2, the City of Spencer.
Yes, Commissioners, as you recall, due to some money rolling back to us from our benefits that we had set aside for COVID to reimburse our healthcare costs, we each had $300,000 to allocate. I have worked with the City of Spencer. They have for years tried to build a new library. That has not occurred. This $230,000 will be utilized by the City of Spencer to provide a library for their citizens. So with your approval, I'll make the motion.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Then the Millwood item.
Yes, Millwood is also out of the $300,000 allocation for District 1. We need to, Mr. Pettis can speak, but District 1 has a long history of partnership with Millwood. They had requested funding for a comprehensive rebuild of their tract and associated facilities. This money will be utilized for that purpose. So unless you have questions of myself or Mr. Pettis, would move the item.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. This third item is, the agenda says in an amount not to exceed $30,000. The actual amount of the agreement that you have before you is $20,000. This will allow us via interagency MOU with Engineering and Planning Department to do some waste and stormwater improvements in District 1. So I'll move it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
And Jessica, thank you for working to get these on.
And the MOU is correct on the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to take the Luther Fire Department? Is your microphone on?
Sorry, my apologies. Item number 5 is to increase the amount going to Luther Fire Department for $39,843.80 for needed improvements there. So is there a motion to approve that one? My screen's done. Hold on. Trying to
I
get my
think he's
screen
got
back
issues
up.
with his screen.
I don't know what happened. No idea. There we go. Thank you. Item number 6.
You gotta hit the motion on that button. Then Joe, you seconded?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Item number 6 is to authorize increased amount to Fields and Futures in the amount of $30,156.20.
Is there a second?
Yes, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. You ready? All right. This is a continuation of a previous investment through Building Oklahoma City for $50,000. I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. And then we have the Middale Youth and Family Center, which coordinates with a number of sub nonprofits that work through them throughout the community, countywide. I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. New View, Oklahoma. I'll move the item. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Third Space Foundation, which does businesses Live Free Oklahoma City. I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And finally, the Asian District Cultural Association. And I'll move the item.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any commissioner comments?
None
Is
for District
there-
3.
Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Lowe. I'm state representative for House District 97. And I'm here to say thank you to you all for the funding for Spencer. Spencer's in my district. In 2016, my constituents told me we need a library in Spencer. And the reason they need one is the only library that's close to Spencer at this current time is on 23rd and Martin Luther King, which is Ralph Ellison Library. So they are very happy with the funds that are going to be allocated to a library. And we're also happy about the funding for Millwood High School, the athletic center as well. So I want to personally say thank you. I know there's a lot of negativity in this job, and a lot of people don't say thank you a lot. So I want to make sure I say thank you for the funds that have been allocated to Spencer and also Millwood. I know firsthand that education is the gateway out of poverty. Education is the gateway to success. And I thank you for promoting education.
Mr. Pettis.
Thank you, Commissioners. I stand before you on behalf of Millwood Public Schools. I am John Pedersen, the Community Liaison for Millwood Public Schools, and I stand before you on behalf of Dr. Cecilia Robinson Woods, who could not be here on today. Millwood Public Schools, we just want to say thank you for giving your support for Millwood Public Schools. And again, thank you. Y'all know I love to talk, so I just got 2 words. Thank you.
All right, others? I see council's present. Is there a motion to recess into executive session?
Motion to recess.
All in favor, say aye. there a motion to return to regular session?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Action on item 13.
Yes, my motion would be to instruct council to proceed as discussed.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any citizens now who wish to be heard? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.